Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Immediately, first thing that I notice here is, all right, we can play this, and this bishop can reveal a discovered attack onto our queen, onto our king. Our queen and our rook are both on dark squares. We have this move, and from here, this is his only option. From this, we can play this, and from here, he's forced to either this square or this square. Now, if this square, let's think, what can we do if he goes to this square? I don't think I like taking. I just don't really like how much he can do with like these discovered attacks, for example. But what other things could we do? Well, we could potentially take back. We could play the bishop back, or queen back, excuse me. And then he's forced to either play here or here. If here, I think we could play this, and he would be forced to block with the bishop and the queen. If the queen immediately, then that's fine. But if here, then this would be mate. Yeah. So I do like this. What did I say about this again? Oh yeah, rook takes, and then we have this, and then yeah. What? Oh, we have queen takes. Silly me. Okay. Okay, let's start with the truths about this position. The queen is on this diagonal. Our king is safe, but our king can't go to this g1 square. Our queen and our rook are both looking at this e8 square. This bishop defends both of these squares that are crucial to the black king. Our queen is attacking the bishop. We cannot, if this, then he is able to take it undefended. However, let's think for a minute. This is a reality if our rook comes off of the e1 square. We also this could be this could be an option if we played rook d1. What would he play then? He could have this option, to which this, and then but then if that, then we can play this. Actually, no, we can't do that because then our rook would be on d1. I think I still like rook d1. I haven't really analyzed it, but I like it. Okay. Yeah, we just gotta take, and then let's think about what the follow-up here would be. We have to defend this square. Actually, the move might be king to g1, because if bishop takes, then we have this. So I really don't think Okay, but there's got to be a way, right? Perhaps it's this. Perhaps it is bishop e3 because then that would give us this. Because I think that if rook here and bishop back and then bishop d4, I think we honestly could just take the bishop. And then after rook takes, we just play bishop takes. And we're going into the endgame uh, very nicely. Yeah. So, okay. Okay, let's start with the truths about the position. We have this, or let's start with truths. Okay, we're going against a bishop pair. We're down a piece, and we're down pawns, I believe. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, but 2 of these pawns are doubled. So this bishop isn't very good. It can never move, and it's not doing a whole lot behind this pawn. So I'm not super concerned with this bishop at the moment. And I don't think that it would be smart to attack this bishop whenever it's not doing really anything. This bishop, this dark squared bishop, is particularly dangerous, and we are attacking it with our knight. We're also attacking the queen. From here, I think that we could look into queen check, king over, and we can either play queen takes, and then king here, knight here. I really do think that this queen move is pretty forcing, but I don't put all my eggs in one basket typically. So, but let's go ahead and play it. Okay. How about this move? What do we think about this? Well, if that move in here, then we can play this, and this would be mate. If queen takes, then we take back. And if this, then we have this followed by this. So, yeah. That's pretty simple. Okay. Let's start with the truths. So, this queen is looking at this square, so is this bishop. But it is defended by our knight, so I'm not super concerned with that, but it is something to be be aware of. This rook is pinned, but it is defended by their other rook. This rook is also eyeing the c7 pawn, and this rook isn't doing a whole lot. It can go to this square, and it can look up here, but just based on now, it's not super controlling. We can play bishop here. That does threaten this. Immediately bishop here jumps out to me because there are no real checks that are super jumping out. Let's go ahead and look at this though. If takes and takes, then what do we have? I don't think there's anything really there. But we never hesitate to look. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. So I probably should have just went ahead and analyzed it, but I really didn't care that much. Start with the truths. I need to make a better habit of that. I've been doing better about it, but I still need to be better about looking at the truths of the position saying, okay, what's going on here? Because I think in any position, even if you did it in a blitz game, I think that's good practice for finding out where the tactical ideas are and kind of just getting yourself prepared to make a decision. Immediately, I notice he has the bishop here. He's got this rook, which isn't doing much. It appears to still be on the starting square, or it is. And it just probably hasn't moved yet. This bishop isn't doing much. This rook is really the strong one. It's attacking this f1 or f2 pawn. This queen isn't super active at the moment. It's behind all of these pawns. So this is a pretty closed position. So I really don't think that these bishops are going to do much. This bishop's pretty shitty to begin with. So a lot of times our knight will be the playmaker in these spots. A move like this is, I don't think this is the move, but sometimes moves like h3 will be the move, but h3 is undefended, so I don't think that's it. We can also take a look at moves like bishop d1. I don't think this is the move, but it doesn't hurt to at least look at it. The problem I see with this is that he can just play queen to g6, but part of what I'm seeing is that he doesn't have a ton of defense on his queen, and I think every pawn is still on the board. So, you know, some of them might be doubled, but looks like we played this and maybe this. But it was okay. Let's go back to let's look at the truths of my position. Okay, this knight, it's not doing a whole lot currently. It can go here and start looking at this, and from there, I think the queen is actually trapped from here, because after he can't go anywhere. He can't go here because the knight is attacking that, and we can play bishop d1 quite safely. So I think this is the move, and this is actually a really cool puzzle. I'm going to take a picture of this. But the idea is that if we play knight g5 immediately, we're preventing him from going to any square with his queen. If he goes here or here, we take with the queen or the rook. The knight is going to defend this square from g5. It'll defend this square. Our pawn defends this square. So we are actually defending everything. And now we can play bishop d1, trap the queen, and that is a beautiful puzzle. Okay. Let's look here. Okay, his bishop's out, his dark squared bishop. It appears to have gone h6 and then here. Okay, so it had coming in for this, and then it took our bishop, and then we checked, and then we played 92, and then it came back to g5. Okay, so immediately what jumps out to me is that this knight is pretty weak. It hasn't been off of its starting square. This rook is super strong. This rook is controlling the entire h-file, and there hasn't been much of a challenge on that square. So I think that it's perfectly reasonable to say that we're threatened by this rook and not really this one. This one can go to 3 squares in total, and it doesn't. In this rook is not worth a whole lot right now. Not saying that that's the truth for the position, but for right now, it's not super worthwhile. Something that could jump out is this move. From here, his only way to not lose the bishop would be to play like bishop back right here. And if he plays bishop back, he's limiting his rook. So from here, I think that we can start looking at moves like knight to d5, knight to d5 or d4, and then this, that actually might be the move from the get-go. There might be no reason to play some of these moves. So let's go ahead and see kind of the reason. And we can also look at the fact that if we were to play knight d5, like if the knight could just jump to this e6 square, we would notice that that would be mate because he can't go here or here or here, right? And he would be put into check by the knight. So this actually might be the move immediately. And to stop that, I don't think he can. He would have to play queen here or queen here and sacrifice the queen. And I guess he's just has to do that. Okay. From here, what do we notice? I notice this. Wow, that's a tough move to find. It's actually not. But yeah, I think it's going to be knight g8 or rook g8, king h3, rook to g1, rook d1 check, king c6, um, king takes pawn, rook takes rook. Oh, okay. He just takes the pawn immediately. Okay. From here, let's start with the truths. He's threatening this, and then he's threatening mate in two. So we don't want to get mated in two moves. You know, that's not very sexy. But what is sexy is checkmating him, or at least taking all of his pieces. So what jumps out to me is this fork. After rook e8, king to h7, bishop d3, pawn up, and then queen takes. We can also play bishop takes, but for whatever reason, I think I like queen takes a little bit more. Let's go ahead and play this because I'm very confident that this is the move. Um, let's go ahead and start. If we play bishop takes, then he plays this. Actually, no, he won't because our rook defends this. But what would be his move? All right, if we played, oh, he would play this if we played queen takes. And then we're getting mated. So we have to play queen takes. Yeah. Okay. 2008. Um, Seems like a simple Zwischenzug. Um, Although it might not be. So from here, what do I notice? What are the truths about this position? What if it's okay? So here's what I notice. I'll get to the truths in a minute, but I notice that our queen, our knight, and our pawn are all capable of taking this knight. I think this is likely a cap. Yeah, this is a capture. Um, so and typically we can let's yeah, this was played between a game of 1688 and 1715. So one of them must have just missed a tactic. Um, because that's a respectable rating. I think that this is the solution. And the reason that I think that is because after bishop takes, we have this. And from there, what's really actually no, we wouldn't play this. We'd just take. No, we would we? Yeah, we would. Because this isn't an absolute pin. Um yeah, it would be this. And then this, and then this. So yeah, it was Zwischenzug. Okay. So what I notice, truths about this position. We don't have a dark square bishop. If we did, that would be pretty awesome. Because with a dark squared bishop, we would at least be able to play, like, say our bishop was on d5, d6. We would just play here and then win material and then we're done. But that's not the reality. So let's think for a moment and say, what's the move? Well, it could be this. After, and then I assume rook c2 would be the follow-up. But what about this move? And if we play b5, rook c2, b6, rook takes, pawn up, takes, and then make a queen. Oh, okay, so takes, takes, this. Let's think takes, takes, here, and then okay, let me think for a minute. I didn't analyze this enough. How about what about this? It takes here, this. Yeah, that doesn't work. But maybe we're not winning a queen. That's the truth. Hmm. Here takes here. And then, yeah, I think it is this. Yeah, it just kind of had to take some logic and reasoning. Okay, truths about this position. The rooks are lined up and they're attacking this pawn. This pawn is defended by, this has 3 defenders and it's got 3 attackers here. So let's think for a moment. What would a move, he's also got this centralized knight which can go to all these squares. So this is a pretty strong knight. But in reality, it's not really going there. This pawn, it's not going to go here because I don't really like this c3 move. And then I don't think this pawn's moving. So let's think rationally. What is this pawn, or what is this knight? What about this knight move? Well, I can't help but notice that the queen is only really going to go here or here. We can't go here. It's not go. It might go here. It's not going here. So it really has 3 options. It can go to any of these squares. And let's start with this square. If that square, then this. And then it's going here. And then we're here. Regardless, I think we're leaving the knight hanging anywhere we go. What? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go take a shit in a minute. What if it's here? Huh. Okay, I'll get one more right and then I'll go take a shit. Here. I'm not even gonna do the truths on this one just because I don't really want to. takes here. Anywhere that we go is check, and then check again and win the queen. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Oh, how about this? Because if here, then this. And then if here, then are we just going for a perpetual check? Oh, I guess not. Yeah. Oh. Oh, because then we're threatening here. Okay, I gotta get one more right. Okay. How about this? And then here. And then this. Here. This. Out. This. Up. And then takes. That could be right. Oh, bullshit. Oh, you cocky motherfucker. Okay, wonder, oh yeah, it's gotta be the, what's BS, bro? Oh wait, yeah, that was kind of dumb of me. Oh. I genuinely might be stupid. Okay, I just need to go because I'm getting too tired. I improved. I went from, how many is that? 83? 83 points? Good.